Law firms are a really interesting sector from a cybersecurity solutions perspective. They deal with a huge amount of other people's sensitive data, be that kind of commercially personal data, but also intellectual property, where they're effectively expected to handle other people's information as that organisation would themselves, but they have large concentrations of it. They also have large delegated amounts of accountability within organisations in terms of people acting as data owner and data controller within those environments, which makes them a really interesting organisation. So we've recently worked with a couple of large law firms, specifically around software IP, about providing secure environments for source code review as part of an ongoing litigation process, looking to establish a set of controls and set of equivalent environments where parties with conflicting interest and effectively competing requirements need to have equitable access to information, but also with the level of assurance and control that, given the subject matter relates to potential infringement of intellectual property, that the environment doesn't inadvertently enable potential further exposure to either party of their intellectual property, given that's the entire nature of the case. So it's been a really interesting requirement, understanding the firms that understand how to deal with that from a contractual and kind of litigatory perspective, being able to understand the technical controls and constraints, and the fact that what works in the interest of one party can be really counter to the interests of the other party has been really key. So to establish that high assurance neutrality and be able to represent both parties evenly has been really powerful. And as we've seen from recent incidents with impacting specialist organisations that supply into legal services, it's an area of high scrutiny and high potential exposure to online threats, with an area that has perhaps previously been less reliant on security controls and had less of an understanding of the operational impact of that security. So I think it's a really interesting area for those that have long worked in high data sensitivity environments and transacting around high sensitivity data, about how you can apply that in the model of where people are effectively acting on other parties' behalf, and how those delegation models work.